What's up guys, Santa OMG here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys some free 3x oscillator presets that you can use in FL Studio for your trap beats or whatever. First I'm going to show you how to download these, and then I'm going to go deeper in on how I made these and give you just some tips and tricks of how to sound design for 3x oscillator. So first, to download these, what you're going to want to do is go to the bottom or like in the middle of the description. There's going to be a link that's labeled preset download link or whatever. Click that or copy and paste it into your browser, and it's going to bring you right here. And then you're going to want to right click on this, the Santa OMG 3x oscillator presets part 1. Right click on that, and that's going to show you a menu. Click download. Right here it says preparing download, and it just downloaded. Now to open this zip file, which is what it's called, a zip file, to open that you need a program called WinRAR, which is right here on the screen. Just type that in, Google that, and download it. It's a free program that'll allow you to unzip zip files. So once you download that, you'll be able to open this zip file, open it with WinRAR, click on that, and then just close this, and left click right here, extract to. Then go to your C drive, and then, well, I mean, wherever you want them to be. For me, it's C drive, program files, x86, image line, FL Studio 12, data, patches, and then plugin presets, and then generators, and then 3x oscillator. You can see I have the folder right here, and that's where all they are. So just click on 3x oscillator, the folder, and just press OK, and then it'll put them right there. So now that you've downloaded these presets, don't click off the video just yet, because in a second I'm about to show you guys how I made these presets and how you can make your own presets, so you're not just going from video to video looking for presets and stuff like that. I'm going to be giving you guys a couple of tips and tricks that you can use in sound design for 3x oscillator. So with that being said, let's get to the video. Now before I get into how I made these presets, I want to just show you guys a couple examples of beats that I made with just these presets, and here is one of them. Okay, and that's one of them. And here is the second beat that I made. Right. So before I get into how I made these presets, I want to say that I'm going to be going into some depth. So in the description, there's going to be timestamps that are labeled. So they're going to be labeled like what time of the video I go over 808s, what time I go over bells, what time I go over brass, what time I go over leads, pads, piano, blah, blah. So if you want to just skip around the video and find what you want, then just go to the timestamps at the bottom of the description and just click on that. Also, if you haven't watched my part 1 of 3x oscillator, go watch that, because I go over all the basic stuff with 3x oscillator. It's like a 30-minute long video, but if you don't know anything about 3x oscillator, it'll bring you from 0 to 100, so you'll be able to know what every single thing on the 3x oscillator does, so you can follow me along easily. So with that being said, here's how to make a basic 808. I'm going to start with tip 1, which is pitch envelope, or pitch, yeah, let's just call it pitch envelope. So this is the basic 808, right? Right, that's the basic 808, and the main thing to take away is basically just the pitch envelope. I use this in all my 808s, and what that means is it starts with a high pitch and it slopes down very quickly to create like a punch. So this is without the pitch envelope. right? And it just completely transforms it. So you can mess around with that. And what this will do is it'll give it some punch, but it'll also be able to help you mesh it with the kick more. So when you have an actual kick drum in this, you're gonna find that you're gonna have to tweak this pitch envelope. But when you get it just right, it'll mesh with the kick and it'll be like perfect. Okay, and just 3 waveforms, just sine waves, and it has one as the bottom octave, then it's an octave up, and then this one is 7 semitones up, and this is a good trick. It just adds a little bit more character to it. If you put it a whole 2 octaves up from the bass, it sticks out too much. But a lot of people use this, so let's try that. So that's number 1, pitch envelope. And then for all these distorted 808s, it's just that same patch, just a little bit variation. Like this is a square wave mostly with a filter on it. This distorted 808 is basically the same thing, just different waveforms, different filters. This is the same thing, just a stronger filter on it. Oops. And this right here, it doesn't have a pitch envelope, real sharp attack, but it does have, the reason that it doesn't have that sharp attack is because it pitches down very slowly. It's kind of like a boom, 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 like that. But basic stuff. So that's basically how you make 808s in 3x oscillator. Also these warbly 808s, I made them by detuning a wave that's an octave up. So don't ever detune your actual original bass oscillator, but detune something that's like a second or third oscillator, and it'll create some movement like this. Right, without the detune, it's just regular. But don't detune this first wave because it'll make the bass fade in and out. I mean, you might want to do that for like a pad or something, but for an 808, I don't like doing that. That's the same type of thing. But yeah, so pitch envelope and filters and overtones. For bells, we have just, I guess a tip that I would give is a plucky attack, like a short decay for like plucky instruments. So right here you'll see that this envelope has no decay. It just starts from max and goes to this, wherever the sustain level is, as soon as it plays. So it gets a good pluck. You can control that. And same thing right here, like pluck, like a sharp decay on the cutoff. If that wasn't there, it'd be kind of flat. And then a pluck with the pitch again, you know. Right? And then use release. For this, that's the same exact patch, except this is square wave. And for this bell, a tip I want to give for this is using the delay function to add some depth to your sound. So it's the same exact patch, except with a higher octave delay that comes in like half a second, really short time. Right? Only one echo. So that's another tip I want to give. Use the delay function. For brass, right? All this is really is just detuned saw waves. And a tip that I want to give for brass is use movement, use LFOs to have movement. You'll see that I have an LFO on this volume and also the mod X, which is the cutoff frequency. If these weren't there, like it's very subtle. But it just adds movement. Like you'll notice if it's not there. You can also do that with pitch. But that's basically the tip I want to give with brass, and also use the phase randomness knob. So phase randomness and LFOs for movement. That's where your money is at for realistic sounds. And also you have to think about how brass is actually played in real life. So just go look up like a brass band, like a high school band or whatever. When you play a brass instrument, it's not just like it has like a wah wah, like it has a wah, like a short attack type of thing. So to emulate that, I just used an attack with the cutoff. But for even that, to just add on that, I have it to where it drops to the sustain level pretty quickly. So right, so mess around with that. So the 3 tips is use LFO for movement, use the phase randomness knob, and use like research how, if you're going for a realistic instrument, research how that instrument is actually played in real life. So here are the other patches, and this is a low brass stab, and that's just Detune saw waves and stuff as well, kind of the same premise, but you'll notice that it really doesn't sound that good. But if you put reverb on it, sounds pretty good. Kind of like the vintage verb more. Right? It doesn't sound half bad. So use reverb on stuff. For saw leads, a tip that I want to give for saw leads is use LFOs for movement. Again, like that's kind of the same premise without the LFO, or with the LFO. With the LFO, or I mean without. Right, that's an LFO on the pitch that's doing that. And a good idea is to use Global LFO. And also the portamento mode for the sliding and the mono mode. So a tip for this slide lead is to use LFOs for movement. Once again, LFO on pitch, and also use global LFOs. So global LFOs is mainly the tip that we haven't got to yet. And if you don't know what global LFOs is, it's basically where the LFO doesn't start over from the very beginning every note you play. It starts off where you left off whenever you left off the note. So it doesn't start from the same point every single time. This saw lead is basically the same. It's kind of more trap influence, like. Right, kind of like that. For pads, kind of the same thing, like. just I guess like a tip I can give for pads is mess around with filters, like different low pass filters. Like I just messed around and picked the filter that sounded right for me, and that's what I went with. So that's a tip for pads. Also detune everything, phase randomness. That's basically it. Get creative with your LFOs, and right. For this filtered piano, Global LFOs again for like the filter. If you look up here, the filter goes up and down. It doesn't restart every time like this. See, the filter isn't moving. So Global LFOs again, and also use volume and cutoff. Shit. Also use volume and cutoff for your like plucky type sounds. For this pizzicato, I'm just hitting random notes because I can't see my keyboard. Same type of thing, I guess. Just PLUCKS with pitch envelopes and volume envelopes. The cutoff envelope is really important for this sound. Pluck. Same type of thing. Use volume envelopes, cutoff envelopes, pitch envelopes. Like by envelopes I mean like sharp attacks. For this one, same type of thing. I mean, like, it's just all about getting creative with your waveforms and like phase offsets and detunings. Just like get creative. So that's pretty much it. That's how I made all these presets. I mean, like, it's just a lot of experimentation and just knowing how the software works, knowing how the plugin works. So if you don't know how 3x oscillator works and everything I just said didn't make any sense to you and you're like, dude, slow down, go watch the 37-minute video that I have that just explains every single thing about 3x oscillator, because then you'll understand every single thing that I'm saying. So that's also in the bottom of the description, or near the bottom, probably in the middle of the description before the timestamps. So yeah, that's my video on how you can make your own presets, and go download those presets and make some beats if you don't have like Nexus or something like that. Even if you do have Nexus, because I have Nexus and all that stuff too, but I've been finding that using 3x oscillator has really sharpened my synthesis skills. So it's good to just go back to basics, you know. Stop relying on presets. Go make your own presets. It's pretty fun. So yeah, guys. Peace out. Like and subscribe.